This lovely Ladoke, you've kept the promise. Now we're singing, all dressed in splendor, as your promise again is kept. Oh dear sweet rainbow, allure my feelings, make so timeless. One race for zenith, we together began one day. You led me on as we've come this far. We fixed our shoulders and the time.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland.
Aṣíwájú l'Ẹlẹ́dùmarè fún wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe gírí, ọmọ Ọ̀yọ́ ká tẹpá wa mọ́ṣẹ́, ká bára wa sọ̀rọ̀, ká sòdodo, ká ṣohun tó tọ́ tó dára, nígbà gbogbo, níbi gbogbo fún ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Kò ní rẹ̀yìn o.
Ladoke Anthem.
We sing, O Ladoke, your promotion of applied sciences. The silver spectrum and the beginning of the race of progress. Students of Ladoke are the leaders today we manifest. Great staff committed to the training of the total persons. Great mountain, great mountains, always stand for excellence. Great mountain, greatest mountains, integrity and service. Integrity and service. Integrity and service.
Please, let's be seated. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 68th inaugural lecture of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ogbomoso. At this point, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you please join me in bringing to the podium the Registrar of the University, Mrs. Olayinka Balogun, to invite the Vice Chancellor to read the citation of the lecturer and declare this lecture open.
May I invite to the podium our dear Vice Chancellor, Professor Razak Olatunde Rom Kalilu, to read the citation and present to this august assembly the presenter of the 68th in the inaugural lecture series of the Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. The Vice Chancellor, sir.
Citation of Professor LUKUMAN, ADEKILEKUN, Jimoda. LUKUMAN ADEKILEKUN Jimoda was born over 50 years ago into the family of Sheikh Alhaji Jimoda Aremu Abdul Kadri and Alhaja Afsat Apeke Jimoda ADEKILEKUN of Imale Compound, Ede, Osun State. LUKUMAN attended Young Tajuddin Primary School, Ede, between 1975 and 1981, and Sarul Islam Commercial Grammar School, Ede, between 1981 and 1986, and Baptist High School, Ede, between 1986 and 1988, respectively, for his primary, secondary, and higher secondary education. He also had education in basic and advanced knowledge of Arabic and Islamic studies. He proceeded to the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, where he earned Bachelor of Science, Master of Science, and Doctor of Philosophy degrees in Chemical Engineering, respectively, in 1997, 2002, and 2010. He started professional practice in Maiduguri during his participation in the National Youth Service Corps scheme in 1998. He subsequently worked in 4 other companies in Ilesha and Lagos, where he variously worked as Assistant Production Manager and Quality Assurance Manager between July 1998 and July 2005. LUKUMAN left the private sector for academia on July 1, 2005, when he was employed as an assistant lecturer in he rose through the ranks to become a professor of chemical engineering in 2017. Professor Jimoda has held various administrative positions. He was acting head of department between 2012 and 2014, acting dean of student affairs between 2015 and 2017, chairman University Orientations Committee between 2014 and 2015, member of part-time program, member of the board of part-time program, member of University Board of Pre-Degree Science Program between 2015 and 2017, and Senate representative on Appointment and Promotions Committee of this university between 2021 and 2023. He is also a member of the governing council of the Federal Polytechnic, Ede, from 2021 till date. Professor Jimoda, who is a chemical engineer registered by Koren, has over 85 academic publications to his credit. He has supervised over 100 bachelor's degree students, 12 master degree students, and 6 doctorate degree students. He has equally served as an external examiner and assessor for professorial candidates to different universities within and outside Nigeria. His professional distinction has culminated into winning of research grants. He's been elected as Fellow of the Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers in November 2022. Professor Jimoda's significant service are not limited to private practice, teaching and research, and administration alone. He has also been a key player in government. Currently, he is the special advisor to Osun State government on mining and mineral matters. Furthermore, he was appointed chairman, Mineral Resources and Environmental Management Committee, Osun State, by the Honorable Minister of Solid Minerals Development upon his nomination by the Executive Governor of Osun State, Senator Akintola Adeleke. He is married with children. Distinguished members of the University Senate, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby invite Professor LUKUMAN ADEKILEKUN Jimoda to present his inaugural lecture on behalf of the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, as I declare the 68th inaugural lecture of this university open.
Good afternoon, everybody. The Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Strategy and Development, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic and Innovation, the Registrar, the Bursar, the University Librarian, Provost of Colleges, Dean of Postgraduate School, Dean of Faculty of Engineering and Technology, my Dean, Deans of other faculties and student affairs, members of the University Senate, Head of the Department of Chemical Engineering, my Head of Department, members of the University Congregation and other members of staff. His Excellency, Senator Jimoda ably represented by Chief of Staff, members of Osun State Executive Council here present, members of Osun State Parliament, His Royal Highness Oba Dr. Mudin Adesola Muhammadu Lahawal, members of Royal Council here present, distinguished scholar and clergy, distinguished invited guests, great Ladoke, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I am highly honored to stand before this audience to deliver this still in the series of inaugural lectures of this great citadel of learning. The 21st from the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, the 5th from the Department of Chemical Engineering, the first inaugural lecture from the department delivered by Professor Mrs. T.J. Afolabi with the title "Separation is Predestined and Essential Tool for Survival." The second lecture featured Prof. Ogbomoso, who spoke on circular economy, chances, choices, and consequences. Following this, Professor M1 presented the lecture titled "Good, Bad, Better Again: Paradox of Bioengineering in Waste Valorization." The first and the most recent lecture was given by Professor Mrs. Fenfene titled "Universal Energy Access for Sustaining Development Marriage or Reality." Notably, this inaugural lecture marks the first time a professor specializing in environmental engineering from the department will be presenting. This inaugural lecture, summarizing my sojourn as a certain member in the Department of Chemical Engineering, environmental pollution, a formidable adversary to human health and ecological balance, stand as one of the defining challenges of the 21st century. My academic journey spanning over 2 decades have been dedicated to unraveling the complexities of pollution across air, water, solid waste, and noise domains. This inaugural lecture is a synthesis of my contribution, a reflection of the urgent need for sustainable solution, and a call to action for collective responsibility, rooted in Nigeria's unique environmental context, that research addresses global challenges through focal lenses, offering insight that resonate beyond borders. In Nigeria, rapid urbanization and industrialization have amplified pollution toll, particularly in megacities like Lagos. My work began with a focus on air quality, driven by an incident like 2005 Lagos fog, which suggested the critical need for emission inventories and modeling. From solar combustion to vehicular emission, my studies have quantified pollutant sources and impacts, laying the groundwork for informed policy making. These efforts have revealed the intricate interplay between human activities and environmental degradation, setting the stage for my broader exploration of pollution multifaceted nature. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, my research has also spanned sustainable water treatment, waste management, and noise pollution with a focus on practical eco-friendly solutions. High developed biocoagulants from mango kernel and nasi as alternative to chemical coagulant, coupled with mass transfer modeling and dosage tools to ensure real-world application. In response to the Nigerian waste crisis, advanced emission inventory, resource recovery, and circular economy initiative, including converting sawdust into particle box and promoting 4Rs framework, which is the reduce, reuse, recycle, and restoration. Additionally, my studies on diesel generator noise in Lagos revealed the health risk from excessive noise due to unreliable power supply, underscoring the urgency of alternative energy and noise control measures to promote healthier urban environment. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, my competence in the field of environmental engineering today is not a sudden flight, but a product of intentional mentorship of erudite scholars and my consistent industrial exposure over the years. Late Professor Jimoda called my research teeth in this field at Ogbomoso University in Ife through my BSc project titled Family Characteristics of Nigerian Goods and Their Products. This ignited my passion for environmental challenges in refinery. Subsequently, Professor Ladoke took over when Professor Jimoda left the University of Toronto, laying the foundation for my work in environmental engineering. My MSc and PhD thesis under the supervision of Professor Ladoke and mentorship of Professor Jimoda further my focus on environmental engineering. My MSc thesis titled Emission Measurement Impact and Continuous Improvement for Products and Processes, informed by Professor Akintola and Professor Solibare's empathize with process and environmental engineering, led to publication that impacted Foam Manufacturers Group, a subsidiary of Manufacturer Association of Nigeria. My PhD thesis titled Characterization and Modeling of Aerosol Gases of Southeastern Lagos, guided by the expertise shaped my career, enabling me to lead environmental engineering research group at Ladoke University of Technology, Ogbomoso, and serves as a key resource on process engineering for industry and Federal Ministry of Environment, Abuja. This lecture is not merely a recanting of Papa's achievement, but a roadmap for the future. By weaving together air, water, waste, and noise pollution research, and to inspire interdisciplinary collaboration, policy reform, and community engagement. The challenges are daunting, but the potential for transformative change is immense. And I invite all of you to join me in efficiently cleaner and more sustainable world. Environmental pollution. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, environmental pollution remains one of the most pressing challenges of our time, with air, water, and soil degradation posing severe risk to human health and ecosystems. Over the years, my research has focused on understanding, mitigating, and modeling pollution across multiple domains. This lecture synthesizes my contribution under 4 key themes: air pollution, water quality, waste management, and noise pollution, providing a roadmap for sustainable environmental solutions. Contribution to air pollution research. Inventory study. Mr. Vice Chancellor, in Jimoda 2009, investigated air pollutant emission from anthropogenic activity in Southeastern Lagos, focusing on Ogbomoso station of Toll Middle Bridge. Using the emission factor approach from EPA April 42, 1985, my research quantifies emission of particulate matter, SO2, NO2, CO2, and VOC, as well as additive from sources like sawdust combustion, vehicular traffic, power generation, industrial activities, and also cooking. Sawdust combustion was identified to be a major source of PM soft. This inventory gives critical data for air quality management in vehicles, addressing stability, feasibility, and health issues in a rapidly urbanizing region. These are shown in this table 1. Already in Jimoda, 2017 carrier represent inventory at Tinker Island Seaport at southwestern Nigeria using a missile factor approach based on April 42 to quantify criteria program from ships during maneuvering activities from core to dock using main engines. The study provides critical baseline for assessing maritime air pollution in Nigeria. Oluwaro Tiowa and Jani Ahmed and Jimoda 2022 quantified this consumption by minor and major industries in Ibadan, Nigeria from 2019 to 2015. Amid unreliable electricity supply, estimating the emission rates of petroleum pollutants from diesel generators and predicting their ground level concentration. These critical data will guide governmental policy making for a prompt and effective air pollution control strategies in Ibadan, particularly matter gases, pollutant, and aerosol study. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the mysterious fall that engulfed some part of Lagos on 12th of October 2005 necessitated the study carried out by Jimoda in 2009. The fog put in a serious attention of Lagos State government, environmental policy makers, environmental engineers, scientists, has called for detailed environmental investigation of the causes of the fog, which necessitated what myself, Jimoda, and Soliban 2009, therefore estimated the criteria pollutant for anthropology and activity using a missile factor approach. The study inferred that vehicular emission from road transportation were identified to be a major source of criteria pollutant in the city. Emission from industrial activity. Jimoda 2009 conducted emission inventory on to estimate criteria pollutant from dominant sources in Oko-Baba area of Southeastern Lizzie, which is permanently characterized by air inversion, accompanying foggy dispersion and visibility reduction to less than 20 meters in the last 10 years. The estimates suggest that particularly metal emissions in the area are mostly from so-called combustion, traffic, and from household activities. Jimoda in 2010 used this concept of the pollution velocity and scavenging ratio to study the removal mechanism of heavy metal consumed of aerosol in sawdust open area of Southeastern Lagos. The results show that cadmium, lead, and antimony are better removed through the evidence necessary for particle, while iron, manganese, chromium, and titanium are scavenged by precipitation. Jimoda in 2008 10B studied the forward trajectory modeling of particular matter from sawdust open burning using ISC of Helmut software. The 24-hour World Bank recommended limit of 80 micrograms per meter cube for particulates were exceeded in about 79% of the host community, making that activity very dangerous to host communities. Jimoda level 45 also concentration using gravimetric method with high volume sampler fitted with a 2-filter holder, adopting a sample period of 6 hours. All measured concentration were above 24-hour WHO and World Bank of 50 micrograms per meter cube and 80 micrograms per meter cube respectively. Polyurethane foam industry. Mr. Vice Chancellor. Jimoda level studied the fundamental dynamics of large and continuous polyurethane foam polyurethane using methylene chloride, which is a known animal carcinogen and a suspected human carcinogen for economy, safety, and environmentalism. The ratio of methylene chloride to carbon dioxide increases as a function of time and was found to be independent of formulation. Akintola Jimoda in 2004 studied the kinetics of gas production reaction in polyurethane foam production process by considering the concentration of methylene chloride, which has naturally donated the before we time for various formulations. The composite reaction order was found to be zero with respect to methylene chloride after a minimum of C0. Therefore, the control of ADA emissions is important for both environmental and economic reasons. Cigarette manufacturing. Adherent to Jimoda 2016B measured the quarterly variation of particulate matter mass ranges PM1, 2.5, 7, 10, and TSP in the major cigarette manufacturing company in the island. So, at Western Nigeria, indoor and outdoor environment, it was found that some of the PM ranges measured fall within the standard, while some exceeded the same standard. PM10 and TSP share the highest measured 24-hour extrapolated concentration for all the quarters in the indoor and outdoor environment. And the scavenging ratio is as shown in the table 2. You can see the scavenging ratio velocity of the trace maker in the wet and dry season in Lagos. Jimoda and Sonibare 2012 determined the level of compliance with the American Tobacco Nigeria Limited with existing national air quality standard in Nigeria. The measured TSP became 0.8 to 19.2% of the 24 micro per federal of environment limit, with 6.1% of the average period. But in order, it was 3.8 to 6.2%, with 4.9% as average. Urban industrial sector. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir. Jimoda 2012 comprehensively reviewed the air particulate matter, which has been known to become an issue in the global environment due to the health problem and environmental degradation it causes. Effective control strategy for adequate air quality management towards minimizing particulates in the atmosphere have been proposed. And the Jimoda in 2019 studied the total particulate matter deposited within 17 selected areas in Lagos during the dry season, which is December 2015 to January 2016. The sources are now deduced to be anthropogenic, varying from industrial activities, vehicular emission, and combustion of fuel. Fuel quality and vehicular emission. Fuel quality. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir. Jimoda in 2014 studied the deleterious impact of lead from the use of motor fuel in southwestern Nigeria. Lead concentrations from gasoline and diesel fuel consumption were minimal due to the various lead level regulations that have been established over the years. Olatunji, Jimoda in 2015A, employed dosimetry using the UVVIS spectrophotometer to determine total survey level of refined petroleum products in southwestern Nigeria. Survey level in the selected samples were below the Nigerian standard for gasoline and diesel, while 89.9% of the sample exceeded the United States Environmental Protection Agency standard. And this can be shown in figure 2 above. Figure 2. Under 2G, Jimoda 2015B investigated the contribution of SO2 emission from the combustion of petroleum products to the Nigerian air set, which remain a great concern over the year because of the resulting environmental and health effects. Lagos State has the highest consumption of gasoline and diesel in southwestern Nigeria and emitted the highest quantity of SO2, while Ekiti State had the lowest gasoline and diesel consumption and emitted the lowest quantity of SO2 in all the selected years, making Ekiti State happen to be the safest. But in 2011, Osun State emitted the lowest quantity of SO2 from this diesel consumed vehicular emission. Fakinle, Sonibare, Okedere, Jimoda 2013 examined the toxicity potential of total suspended particulate in the asset of a haulage vehicle park located in the major highway connecting Lagos. the commercial center of Nigeria, to its other parts. An assessment of the toxicity potential of this particulate shows on heavy air condition at the landscape part. In vehicle exposure 2.33 in vehicle exposure. ADEKILEKUN, Jimoda et al. 2017 investigated in vehicle and pedestrian exposure to carbon monoxide and volatile organic compound across 6 roadways in Lagos, Nigeria, a densely populated megacity with significant air pollution challenges. The study builds on prior research, which in scarce in developing countries, and addresses a gap in understanding the commuter exposure in Lagos. By comparing exposure across different modes, the findings provide actionable insight for commuters to minimize health risks associated with air pollution, such as respiratory and cardiovascular issues. Emission from airports. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, Jimoda et al. 2015 studied the potential impact of air quality of an agro-cargo airport proposed for southwestern Nigeria. The result of the greater concentration of air pollutant, the SO2, NO2, PMCO, and hydrocarbons signified the need for conscientious effort on air quality control in proposed airport for environmental and health benefits during its operation. Emission from maritime activities. Jimoda et al. 2017 conducted inventory, emission inventory using emission factor approach to quantify the criteria pollutant from ship at Tinkan Island in southwestern Nigeria. The inventory was limited to maneuvering activities from Kwa to the dock using main engines. 79% of the total annual emission was found to be from oxide of nitrogen, 10% from SO2, 60% from particulate, and 59% from CO. Emission from energy sector. Adedina Yusuf, Jimoda et al. 2016 studied the technical details and assumptions regarding air quality assessment, focusing primarily on the non-methane cases of pollutant that may result from Nigerian liquefied natural gas (LNG) operation. The scenario expected maximum ground level concentration of VOCs for the respective averaging period to be 4.49, 2.59, 1.66, and 0.08 microgram per meter cube. Emission from and on agricultural sector 2.5. Emissions from and on agricultural sector. Jimoda et al. 2016 investigated air quality in a poultry farm in Ogbomoso, Nigeria, focusing on particulate matter and gaseous pollutant like the CO, H2S, CH4, CO2, and ammonia during the wet and dry season. The study highlighted the significant impact of seasonal variation with higher pollutant level in dry season due to increased temperature and reduced humidity. Popola Jimoda et al. 2016 investigated impact of particulate and gaseous pollutant in the ambient air of the piggery unit at Ladoke Akintola University of Technology, Ladoke Farm, Ogbomoso, Nigeria, using particulate analyzers and gas detector. The measured properties of all the pollutants from the farm were above the environmental standard throughout the wet season, but only CH4, the methane concentration, was above the standard during the wet season. Ekpene Ruchi, Lala, Jimoda Odiwe, and Said 2014 investigated the impact of air pollution on the foliar morphology of 10 species within the Euphormosia species across 3 locations in southwestern Nigeria: urban, suburban, and rural, with varying pollution levels during dry and wet seasons. By demonstrating that pollution reduces its leaf area and petal length, particularly
In the urban settings, the research shows potential of this species as bioindicators for monitoring air quality. Indoor air quality. 2.6. The study by Akintola and Jimoda 2015 investigated the inflow of microlevel parameters, the temperature, the relative humidity, and air exchange rate. On the proposal rates of aerosol from household spray product in an indoor environment, the research contributes to indoor air quality management by providing a framework for predicting and controlling aerosol behavior in residential settings. 2.7. Secondary pollutants and photochemical modeling. Jimoda et al. 2011-2012 developed kinetic models for ozone, nitrate sulfate, and peroxide acetic nitrate formation, linking them to sunlight and rainfall pattern. Jimoda et al. 2011 developed a model for predicting the rate of formation of secondary pollutants in the atmosphere of southeastern Lagos. Okobaba, the developed reactor modeling confirmed the variation of concentration of secondary pollutants with sunlight and rainfall. And it can be seen in this equation. Your chemical engineer used to do the modeling. So we set up the model and we have 7 equations. From the equation, we now convert that problem and we solve it using the MATLAB. The S1 up to S9 are the concentration of various chemical species in the reactor modeling equation, where K up to K5 are the rate constant for those equations. Open burning and solid waste emission. Jimoda et al. 2013C estimated the emission of NO2, NOCO, SO2, and volatile organic compound from solid waste in Ogbomoso using the emission factor approach. The generated potential increased from 44,073 tons per annum in the year 2002 to 63,822.88 tons in the year 2011. Water quality 3.0. 3.0 water quality and treatment. Biocoagulant for water clarification. Jimoda et al. 2013A model the rate of balance, the rate of mass, that is the diffusion equation transfer during the biocoagulation flocculation of cold-rich wastewater at different operating conditions. The predicted results will be further used for design, control, and optimization of biocoagulant process. Similar work were done in Araromi Oke Jimoda et al. 2016, Oke Araromi Jimoda et al. 2018-2019. 3.2 water pollution and control. Latin World Jimoda et al. 2015 evaluated the potential of green sewage biomass as a biosphere for removing heavy metals from textile wastewater. The identification of pseudo first order kinetics and boundary layer diffusion mechanism provide a scientific foundation for optimizing bioabsorption processes, supporting the development of eco-friendly wastewater and treatment technologies. Waste management. Amuda and Ladoke, Jimoda et al. 2014 reviewed the Nigerian municipal waste crisis, advocating for integrated policies. This paper emphasizes that ineffective waste management contributes to air and water pollution, greenhouse emission, and public health hazard, particularly in low-income areas reliant on well water. Noise pollution, 5.0, noise pollution. Industrial and urban noise pollution. So, Nebare Adenira Jimoda et al. 2013 investigated the impact of noise from the diesel engine power generation activities in an urban environment. The result indicates significant concern regarding the potential health and environmental impact of the diesel generator noise on surrounding communities. Similar work on Sonibare Jimoda, I taught 2014. Air quality control 6.0. Air quality control, environmental compliance, and policy recommendation. Okedere, Sonibare, Fakele, and Jimoda 2013 provide a detailed examination of particular cyclones in air pollution control. 7.0. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir. Environmental engineering application to mining operation in Osun State. As a professor of chemical engineering and a specialist in environmental engineering, I have the opportunity of using my profession, apply my profession to solve problems in mining operation in Osun State. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, precisely on 7th of March 2023, I received a call from Mr. Governor Senator Adeleke through my Chief of Staff, that I need to see him that day. I humbly requested that the meeting be shifted to 4:30 p.m. since I was on my way to the Department of Chemical Engineering, OAU Ile-Ife, for an examination of a doctoral student. Mr. Governor told me that he has approved my appointment as special advisor to him on mining and mineral matter, and at the same time, he finally recommended me to the Minister of Solid Mineral Development, and he appointed me as the chairman of Merenco, overseeing all mining licenses in Osun State. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I have the opportunity of using my profession through my research and field work. This is where I'll be able to apply my knowledge to reposition mining sector in Osun State. Georeference techniques. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I have applied this technique in training my master's and doctoral students in receptor and dispersion modeling. The dispersion modeling of air pollutants for tracing mining assets of the state government. And it was done together with our consultants. I have the opportunity of recognizing our consultants in the economy, Dr. Bolondro, and Engineer Alagada. Engineer Alagada is represented by our ES. So I have two consultants that we interacted together, and we have been able to apply georeference techniques to be able to trace a lot of decommissioned sites that are known for environmental degradation within Osun State. Environmental enforcement, or EIA, and environmental management plan. As special advisor to Governor of Mining and Mineral Matters, as well as chairman of Merenco, I've worked together with my consultants to ensure that no mining company starts any work without carrying out environmental impact assessment. And at the same time, no alluvial miners engage in any alluvial mining without stating to us the method is going to use as environmental management plan. Introduction of rewash operation. Having noticed a lot of decommissioned sites, when I resume, I apply my knowledge of separation process in chemical engineering to reprocess the sites abandoned toward maximizing the extraction of gold remnants in the sites. A lot of IGR has been generated from this technique. Merenco assignments. As the chairman of this committee and the chairman of Merenco, as stated in section 19 subsection 2 of the Mining Act 2007, I chaired the committee of 9, 5 from state government, 4 from federal government, overseeing 9 functions, with the major one being to discuss, consider, and advise the Honorable Minister of Solid Mineral Development on matters affecting pollution and degradation of any land on which any mineral is being extracted. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I'm authoritatively saying that most polluted rivers, mainly River Osun, are now cleared. All operators now know that degraded land must be reclaimed. The Merenco Committee of Osun State is adopting all the Nigerian mining environmental guidelines in discharging its activities. Government's academia cooperation towards data acquisition of our mining sites within and outside the state. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, the Transition Committee as well as Solid Mineral Committee resolved that we should engage our universities on data acquisition of our mining sites within and outside the state. The Geology Department of OAU as well as the Applied Chemistry of Fountain University are working with our office. We are also currently talking to outside departments in Ladoke as well as Department of Chemical Engineering in Ladoke in similar assignments. And by that, we are working towards ensuring that we sponsor the project, but we get data for our sites, capacity building. When I resumed, I met on train staff. I recommended to Mr. Governor that we need to organize workshop, tanker meetings, and conference attendances for our staff, especially the tanker ones, the geologists, the mining engineers, and chemical engineers. Mr. Governor immediately approved this recommendation. They can now boast of workshop, tanker meetings, field works within outside the state. Finally, I want to say it, Mr. Vice Chancellor, that I've applied my experience as a trained chemical engineer to reposition mining operation in the state, in Osun State. And majorly, our office, with the cooperation of our consultant, we have claimed the state asset, the shareholding in Tor Exploration Limited. I can say it anywhere in the whole world that Osun State is now a shareholder in Tor Exploration Limited. And efficient management of environment with zero tolerance for environmental degradation is now a must for mining operators within the state. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, our research will not only be ended in chapter 4 and 5. We have to romance with politicians to give us the opportunity as a technocrat to apply all we gain in academics, in our mining, in any operation. So that's one of my observations as a trained chemical. Conclusion, recommendation, and future direction. Conclusion. This inaugural lecture has synthesized my 2 decades of my research into environmental pollution, highlighting the interconnected challenges of air, water, waste, and noise degradation. Air pollution research, the cornerstone of my research, has limited the sources and impact of particulate matter, vehicular emission, and industrial activities. Water quality advancement, particularly through biocoagulants like mango kernel and mucuna seed, demonstrate the power of sustainable innovation, achieving up to 97.3% turbidity removal. These eco-friendly alternatives address the limitation of chemical coagulant, offering scalable solution to decentralized water treatment. We have the result in our office, in the environmental engineering research group. Then there's need for us to sell the results to our regulator, I mean the government. That's what I'm saying. We need to romance with them so that we can now market all those results to them. Noise pollution studies, particularly in industrial settings like Okorodu, refill the hidden toll of diesel generator and amid unreliable power grid. Noise level exceeding regulatory limits pose risk to workers and community, necessitating muffling systems and renewable energy adoption. Interdisciplinary nature of my research reflects the importance of collaboration across science, policy, and community domain. Recommendation for future direction. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, there is need for us to strengthen emission regulations and agencies. There is need to promote renewable energy with policy support. We need to scale biocoagulant use with regulatory backing. There is need to enhance the waste management policies and funding. There is need to implement noise control and statutory limits. We need for us to advance AI-driven forecasting and stakeholder engagement. We need to foster public awareness with policy incentives. We need to encourage interdisciplinary collaboration and research funding. Finally, there is need for inter-universities agency research group. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, my experience over the years as Professor of Chemical Engineering and a practical field man as consultant as well as chairman and member of several panels through Federal Ministry of Environment, Abuja, as a field that most personnel in environmental engineering and modeling are not fully grounded. Very few of all pass through our own Professor Funsa Alabara-Keredolu and Professor Jacob Ademola Sonibare. For example, in many several panels, the result of air quality and noise samplings are not being subjected to averaging period of targeted standard, making the necessary comparison wrong. Most personnel in this area need to be fully grounded in environmental engineering techniques and modeling. Hence, there's need for synergy among environmental engineering units in different universities to allow sharing of knowledge. Acknowledgements. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I gratefully thank my late father, late Sheikh Alhaji Jimoda Aremo Abdulkadir Adekilekun, the first Chief Missioner of Ansarudin Ede branch. I constantly feel your spiritual support from time to time. Your greatness paternally as the direction of the third Imam of Edeland, late Sheikh Imam Abdulkadir Adekilekun, radiated in me throughout my academic career. Also, your maternal greatness from the prestigious Oduniyi Olaguju royal family through your mother, late Princess Rabiat Awero Abdulkadir Adekilekun ne Olaguju, remains a source of pride to me. I finally acknowledge my mother, Alhaja Hafsat Akpenke Jimoda, and the entire Colombo Ikolaba dynasty for your support. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, please, I want my representative of my mother to stand up, Mrs. Waliat Okwade, and Mrs. Okay. So thank you very much for the support. And the representative of the Ikolaba dynasty, stand up. Thank you very much. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, as a young boy of 3 years, losing his biological father, I still find it easy to go through my education, primary, secondary, higher school certificate, BSc, MSc, and PhD, and even my basic and advanced Arabic and Islamic studies seamlessly as a result of the effort of late Sheikh Jima Ayela Abdulkadir Adekilekun. Alhaji Kabir Jima should please stand up as representative of Baba Aliva. If it's not there, Professor Alhaji Tunde and Professor Mahbub should stand up. Professor Mahbub, Alhaji Tunde should stand up. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Late Alhaja Pibet Akankela Wal. I want the two Olori to stand up to represent Mama. The two Oloris, please stand up. Thank you very much. Late Dr. Dahoud Tijani Adekilekun, that's former Chief Imam of University of Ibadan. Barrister Follows also, please stand up. And Oba Dr. Muniruddin Adesola Lawal. Thank you very much. The support of my dear wife, Princess Norat Aduke Jimoda Ne Ibrahim, will forever be acknowledged. Please stand up. I sincerely thank you for the opportunity of marrying you. Thank you very much. Your coming to my life has allowed me to have a distinct Jimoda dynasty As a mini unit of the ADEKILEKUN dynasty, I wholeheartedly cherish your love and special concern not only throughout my academic journey, but in raising my nuclear family. I thank my children. Jimoda Remo, stand up. Robiat Awero, Mutiat Arike, Abdurazak Ajani, Zulkonene Alao, Sultan Amabi, and Mariam. And Mariam Aweke. I also thank Lawal Jamaldin, Situ Husenat, and Situ Aminat. I must acknowledge my in-law, the Ibrahim Situs, from the Awojobi ruling house. Thank you very much. The distinct role, please, the distinct role of mentoring and nurturing a growing adult, exhibited by Oba Dr. Munurudin Adesola Lawal, can never be forgotten. Although I cannot ask Baba to stand up, but you personally bought a GC form for me in Form 4. Even when you are still an applicant, I pray that Almighty Allah will forever be with you and yours. I must thank the two Oloris, Olori Sula Titilayo Lawal and Olori Aishat Omawumi Lawal. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I must acknowledge my dear uncle, an emeritus professor of computer science, is the head of ADEKILEKUN dynasty, my great mentor for monitoring not only my academic journey, but also my personal life as a grown academic. I enjoy every support from him as a grown adult. He is an emeritus professor of computer science, emeritus Professor Abdul-Majid Olaide Abbas ADEKILEKUN. Please stand up. Mr. Fine Chancellor, sir, is the head of ADEKILEKUN dynasty and former acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos. Is an emeritus professor of computer science. We are many, we are worried. I acknowledge the roles played by my siblings, Alaja Ganiya Abdurrahim, Alaja Waliyat Okwade, Alaja Rofiat Taiwo Akintola, CSP Abdurrahman Tijani ADEKILEKUN, Engineer Mansur Tijani ADEKILEKUN, Mrs. Mansurat Ayantoye, Architect Elias Teslim, Engineer Akim Elias, Dr. Adam Olonlomerwe, Mr. Kazim Abdurrahim, Mr. DBC Akintola, and Mr. Samar Tajuddin. My dear late sister, Mrs. Riskat Elias, must also be remembered for her roles in my life. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I must recognize and acknowledge my boss, the executive governor of Osun State, Senator Ademola Jasin Nuruddin Adeleke, for not only appointing me, as special advisor to him on mining and mineral matters, but also recommending me to Honorable Minister of Solid Mineral Development that appointed me as the chair of Merenco, Mineral Resources and Environmental Management Committee, overseeing the entire mineral resources and environment in Osun State. Mr. Governor, sir, ably represented by Chief of Staff and members of House of Assembly here present, I will forever be grateful for this rare opportunity. The fatherly/motherly roles of our own chairman, Babolo himself, the chairman Pacific Holdings Limited, Dr. Deji Adeleke, and Dr. Mrs. Modupe Ola Adeleke Sani are highly acknowledged. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, I'm highly indebted to my sincere friend and benefactor, Alhaji Kazim Akinleye, who remained a bailing point when I was doing my PhD. Alhaji Akinleye, please stand up for recognition. He offered serious, when I was doing my PhD and beyond, he offered serious moral and financial support to me. He supported the Sikh county. I sincerely thank him for recommending me to our executive governor, which necessitated my appointment, which allowed me to apply my profession to solve problems in mining sector. The role of Barrister Taofeek Olaiwola towards my appointment as assistant lecturer in Ladoke, Ogbomoso on 1st of July 2005 remain unforgettable in my heart. Barrister Nagode, please stand up. Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, he influenced, he lobbied for my appointment. Thank you for that opportunity. I must also remember late Professor Teslim Raji, who approved my appointment as assistant lecturer in July 2005. The role of Professor Adeni Sulaiman Gbadegesi and Professor Timothy Abiodun Adebayo will forever remain in my mind. I want to use this opportunity to thank our sitting Vice Chancellor, Professor Abdulrazak Rom Kalilu, and the entire team, the principal officer, for the effort in repositioning the school. Personally, I am one of the personal assistants of our Vice Chancellor for decades. I acknowledge wholeheartedly my supervisor during my MSc and PhD thesis, a renowned environmental engineer and air quality expert on several technical panel reviews conducted by the Nigerian government and beyond, a consultant to several industries in Nigeria, engineer Professor Funso Alaba Akeredolu. Unfortunately, he traveled abroad. He will be back anytime from now, who thoroughly supervised my MSc and PhD degrees and exposed me to consultancy job for several panel reviews coordinated by the Nigerian government. I must not forget Professor Jacob Ademola Sonibare. Professor Sonibare, please stand up. Please, sir. For his effort throughout my postgraduate work, consultancy, as well as offering solid background to me in my research activities. I acknowledge Mr. Sam Obaleye. Mr. Sam Obaleye, Managing Director of Mr. Sam Obaleye, that's the MD of Yinka Oba Foam, for not only giving the opportunity to work under him, but sending me for training on polyurethane foam manufacture. Mr. Sam Obaleye, thank you very much for that opportunity. I will forever remain grateful to you. I must not forget Dr. Dele Mekajuola. Dr. Dele Mekajuola is the former managing director and former chairman of Fatafom Nigeria Limited, Fatafom Nigerian PSC, for his mentoring activities on me. I'm highly indebted to my lecturers during my undergraduate, Professor S.A. Sani, late Professor S.K. Leso Fasese, late Dr. V. Adewusi, late Dio Peter Akintola, Dr. Steve Mama, my uncles and brothers for their roles in mentoring. Baba, please stand up. Alhaji Adekileku Data, I want to thank you for your efforts in my life and your fatherly role. Please sit down, sir. And Zawudin Society, Edinburgh, unfortunately, with Moda Anasi is the chairman, is the head of the entire Adekilekun dinner, entire Baba Oba of Edeland, Prince Mufta Lawal, Alhaji Abdul Hamid Tijani Adekileku, very much. Alhaji Sulaiman Adekileku, Alhaji Gadeyu Ayofe Adekileku, Alhaji Wakil Said Adekileku, retired permanent secretary, my uncles. Now, my dear brother in the dynasty, Barrister Abdul Karim Tijani Adekileku, is a few. Professor Mubarak, Special Advisor to Governor on Regional Integration, Professor Jide Adekileku, and so on and so forth. I must acknowledge, I must not forget my doctoral students who might become professors, associate professors, senior lecturers. So, Dr. E.O.K., Dr. Adebanjo, Dr. Messi University, Umuduke, Professor Mrs. Tija Folabi and Professor Ogunleye, all my colleagues in the department, I acknowledge all of you. The entire staff of Office of Natural and Mineral Resources. I have the three SSA, please stand up. Governance Council of Federal Polytechnic Ede, Professor Taiwak, that the Chief Financial Officer of the Polytechnic, Director, Peter for recognition, Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir. And there's a member of the council representing the head of service. The head of service is here. That's the number one civil servant in the state. Head of service, please stand up and recognition with him. Also is progressing. Thank you very much. I still have the opportunity of recognizing Aliva Sulaiman. Aliva Sulaiman, please stand up. And at the same time, the Alhaji Olago's friend of several decades from Ofa, stand up. Please stand up. Finally, I thank the Merenko family. Officer of Merenko, our FMO, please stand up. Thank you very much. Mr.
The Chief of Staff to the Osun State Governor, Alhaji Kazeem Akinleye Adeshola, and his entourage. I hereby declare the 68th inaugural lecture closed.
Ladoke anthem.
We sing the mountain, we must stand strong, and the living on the race of progress, where we manifest. Great platform, great mountain, great one of us, all with Christ, integrity and service. Ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe gírí, nígbà gbogbo níbi gbogbo fòpinlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Onírẹ̀yìn ọ̀, èmi aṣọ tó tọ́ tó dára, ṣíwájú ni wá, aṣíwájú ni wá.
Please let's remain standing as the Vice Chancellor leads dignitaries on the high table outside of the hall.
This lovely, all dressed in splendor, as your promise symbol, allure my feelings, make so timeless. One race, you led me all